I'm going to show you how to set up the Roxant Pro video stabilizer. I'll be attaching a larger Canon point and shoot camera, but this tutorial will also apply if you plan on attaching a GoPro or a larger DSLR. So the first thing you want to do is just remove the strap, put in the batteries, attach the lens or any other accessory you plan on using on your camera. Any weight that you add later on will completely throw the balance off of your stabilizer. First, attach your camera to the top of the stabilizer. You want to use one of the 3 horizontal slots so you can fine-tune it later. Start with the middle position. Now just sort of move the handle between each position until you find a pretty good center. You can use a penny if you need to move the metal screw and move it to another position. After we have that just sort of centered, we're going to adjust the counterweights on the bottom of the camera. Let's extend the arm all the way and remove the weights to start. Basically, you want the camera on top to weigh just a little bit more than the arm on the bottom. The weights that are included with the stabilizer are really for heavier cameras with attachments. I like to use a few small washers to fine-tune the weight on my stabilizer. I bought a dozen of these and an extra 1/4-inch screw from Home Depot for around $2. You don't necessarily need them, but they make it a lot easier to find a good balance. Otherwise, you'll just end up fooling with the arm for an hour every single time you put the camera on. This way you can just leave the arm fully extended so you'll never lose your setting. You'll see how nice and smooth the camera corrects itself when it's properly weighted. Yours should look exactly the same as mine. I'll go ahead and demonstrate that in a second. You should be able to turn the camera on its side and count to 3, and the camera should return to the middle position. Now that we have the arm and the camera properly balanced, we want to fine-tune the camera on top until we achieve a nice level camera. The side-to-side should be easy, but just by moving it around in one of the 3 grooves by loosening the tensioner screw underneath. You can fine-tune your front and back motion by adding a few small washers to the top with a 1/4-inch screw and a regular nut like I did. There are plenty of places to attach extra weight. I screw mine into the plate right here. I like this method because you only ever have to do it once, and then you're good to go next time. That way you don't have to readjust the camera every single time that you use it. Here's just some basic tips about shooting. You can use a quick release on top and permanently attach it to the plate so you never have to adjust your camera again. You can just pop the camera on and off and just leave the quick release attached to the stabilizer. You want to use a wider angle for a steadier shot. The more zoomed in you are, the shakier your shot will be. Don't try to walk in zoomed in to 200 millimeters to try and get a shot. It's not going to work. It's going to be shaky. Try to use the maximum frame rate on your camera with a stabilizer so you can slow down the footage later on. At 60 frames per second, you can slow down 10 seconds of good footage and turn it into 25 seconds of amazing slow motion footage. So you want to shoot at the maximum frame rates. That's going to be a setting on your camera that you're going to have to find. And practice makes perfect with the stabilizer. You need to learn to walk like a duck and make subtle changes in direction to achieve a good shot. You also want to pay attention to the direction of the wind, direction of the sun, things like that, just to get a good shot. If you get the stabilizer set up and balanced properly, you really should be able to get some great shots with the Roxant Pro. It's a really great piece of equipment. So there it is. I hope that was helpful.